Do you dream of being a more confident artist, secure in your skills and technique, knowing your next steps and exactly what you need to do to improve, and maybe even going to teaching, selling your art, or becoming a service designer or some other kind of professional creative career? Or perhaps just being a better artist? Hi, I'm Chris, artist, designer, and online creative teacher since 2016. And I am that confident artist today, but that's not who I always was. It took me over 10 years to get here, but now I realize it didn't have to take that long. And that's what I want to talk to you today. If you're not at that level yet, maybe you're feeling lost and confused about your art journey. You have no idea how to describe yourself or your artwork. You just don't feel confident to show your art in public or online. And when you do it hesitantly because you're not sure if your artwork's good enough. I totally get it because I was once there too, jumping from YouTube videos to courses to classes to free workshops, desperately trying to fill the gaps in my art education without really knowing what they were. I just wanted to figure out how to reach those creative goals I'd set for myself. And maybe you've done this too. What I didn't know and what no one was able to tell me back then is that I needed a strategy with a clear starting point and a purposeful direction to move toward. If I'd had that at the beginning, I would have felt so much more confident about what I was doing and what my next steps should be for my unique art journey. I floundered for a long time, making some big mistakes, like not making enough art to get the clarity I needed, struggling to know what to paint, what colors to paint it in, and what techniques to use. I didn't know how to look at my artwork objectively without being overcritical, and I let imposter syndrome take the reins and make the decisions for me. And I had no idea how to differentiate myself from the sea of other artists out there or what made me unique as a creative. I didn't know that what I actually needed was to create lots of artwork without spending so much time obsessing on subject matters, colors, and all the other details. I didn't know that I was too close to my work and I needed to learn how to analyze it with an arm's distance approach to see it more accurately. And I also didn't know how to see and gather all of the characteristics that were repeated over and over again in my work, the things that made me unique and different as an artist. It was right in front of me the whole time, but I didn't have the right perspective to see it. So, along the way, I created a series of steps for myself as I began to recognize them, things that worked for me, a process I now call the art style clarity formula. It allows me to create loads of artwork without overwhelm, helps me to take a step back from my artwork so I can see it more objectively and accurately. Plus, it gives me the tools to see the unique characteristics about my artwork that differentiate me from the pack, all while they're reducing confusion, saving me time, energy, money, creating my projects. I've distilled this process down to three parts to make it not only approachable, but repeatable. And now I'm going to let you in on what that is so you can do it too. Are you ready for it? Step one is to understand what art style is and why knowing yours offers so much clarity and insight to who you are as an artist. Now, just to clarify, there's a difference between signature style and art style. When you've developed a signature style, others can immediately recognize your work as yours just by looking at it. Signature style takes years to develop, and when you find yours, it can open doors to so many opportunities. But you have an art style right now, today. How do I know this? Because you are unique. You have a unique fingerprint and unique way of writing, walking, and doing most things. And so naturally, you paint a little differently than anyone else. When you learn how to recognize the characteristics that make your artwork unique, that's when things can start to happen. Step two is to understand how powerful creating your artwork and collection can be, and to learn the 9 steps to building a good collection over and over. Many successful artists and designers will tell you how life changing this skill is and how many doors it can open for you, no matter what your creative goals may be. Step three is to build a cohesive artwork collection that takes less time, energy, and even money to produce, so you can spend more time improving your skills and honing your craft. If you're not familiar with the word cohesive, it just means multiple artworks that work really well together visually, which is what makes the collection good. Having a cohesive artwork collection makes it easier to find your style consistencies, which in turn will make things easier in the next step, which is step 4, to learn how to analyze your collection. I know it sounds very technical. To have an easy, repeatable step by step method I've developed that helps even someone that's completely new to the process get a more accurate perspective. Because it's a template that you can follow time after time, it helps to put a barrier between you and imposter syndrome so you can really see your work with fresh eyes. Step 5 is to answer a series of simple questions about your collections designed to highlight the characteristics that make your work unique, which are easier to see once you paint cohesive collections, as I mentioned. Then paint those characteristics onto what I call an art style board. It's a lot like a mood board, but it's targeted to a particular art style, really bringing it to life. Once you begin to create in collections, you can create more work in one sitting, giving you more practice overall, more clues to solve the mystery of your art style, create more efficiently, and get the huge advantage of getting closer to your signature style. That and more is what's possible for you when you learn to create in collections. When you learn to analyze your own artwork more objectively, you'll be able to really see it for the first time. This offers you a newfound clarity about your art style, what projects you might be best suited for going forward, and what direction you might want to go in with your art. For example, I live in the desert, and my love for painting desert landscapes with sustainable watercolors has led to artwork that works well on calendars, art prints, POD shop products. If I want to work with companies to use my artworks on their products, I'll make sure I target brands that lend to earthy, rustic, and sustainable values. Once you build your art style board with all your unique creative characteristics on it, which include brushstrokes, colors, line work, and more, you'll have the clarity to know how to stay on track for who you are as an artist while leaving plenty of room for growth and new possibilities. Your art style board will tell your artist's story and give you definition to better talk about what you do artistically, write an about page, social media bio, a portfolio, and so on. I teach all of this in my course, the Art Style Clarity Formula, so you can get the clarity and definition you need to ditch confusion, overwhelm, and frustration, and learn how to tell your artist's story with confidence. The 6-week Art Style Clarity Formula features over 50 video lessons and a 70+ page workbook companion with worksheets for you to fill out at key points in the process. Plus, you'll get access to a private community and comment section under each lesson for targeted questions, not to mention an email address for tech support. You'll learn my 9-step method for how to build good cohesive collections that you can follow over and over again, taking all the guesswork out of it. You'll get my steps for how to analyze your new collection with easy to follow worksheets that guide you through the process. And you'll get instructions to learn how to build your own art style board featuring your own unique creative characteristics. In just 6 weeks, you can be on your way from confusion, frustration, and overwhelm to clarity, direction, and confidence about who you are as an artist right now and how to communicate it. So, how much does all this cost? To work with me one on one for 6 weeks to get the same result, it would cost you $3,000. But you can get the same results in the Art Style Clarity Formula course for only $147. This program price will be going up to $297. So you're getting it for 50% off when you sign up right away. Now that you know the steps to finding your artist's clarity, it's time to take action on it. You'll find more info about the Art Style Clarity Formula course and how to sign up below this video. I can't wait to see you inside this program so I can help you get the clarity you've been looking for.